Welcome to day 4 of Journey of Healing. It's your boy, Journeyman Bell, aka Mr. 100. Y'all, I'm coming to you on today as we are still dealing with the areas of the mind. And today we are wanting to focus on how to build your self-thinking, self-confidence, your self-thinking. Want to be reminded of you in Proverbs 23:7. It says, "For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he." Listen, as he thinketh in his heart. That word thinketh is so critical to what I want to talk to you about on today, because I want to give you 3 quick pointers on how to improve your thinking on today, how to change your thinking into self-confidence. Self-confidence is so important because if you don't think positive about things around you, you're going to crumble behind it, crumble behind your thoughts. As a man thinketh. That word thinketh is an ETH, which deals with a continual effort. That means that you are continually working your mind into a place that will operate into good, healthy thinking. Come on now. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Try not to pay too much attention to the heart, because I want to come back to that. I want to come back in the next chapter as we're going to deal with the heart next. I want to really focus on this word thinketh. This word thinketh deals with the elements of a gatekeeper or a porter, one that carries luggage, if you will. Remember that you carry the thoughts on board your life. You carry, your thoughts are like luggage. So your luggage can be very, very heavy, or your luggage can be very, very light. But you determine the type of luggage you're carrying. As you continually to think, so you become. The more you think about it, the more you become it. They can work in your good, or they can work in your bad. You have to determine, as a gatekeeper for your mind, what kind of thoughts am I possessing? What kind of thoughts am I taking hold to? What kind of thoughts am I loading into my life continually that will affect you in a negative way? What type of thoughts are affecting your life in such a way that you lead towards a bad direction? Because as you think, so are you. What are you thinking about? What have you allowed in the gates of your mind that will open up this understanding to say it's okay to think negative about yourself? It's okay to think depressing thoughts. It's okay to have low self-esteem. It's okay to be the second place in life. Where in the world are these thoughts coming from? They can come from a lot of different places. They can come from a lot of different arenas. Sometimes we can take these thoughts on as a child. Sometimes we can take on thoughts we don't intend, that we didn't know we took on. Sometimes negative experiences, negative relationships can also lead to negative thinking. Bad relationships with parents, bad relationships with friends, bad relationships with yourself, trying to cope with self-building places. All of those things play tremendous parts in your place of how you think about yourself. I'm guilty of it too, because at one point in life I had a low self-esteem about myself. I didn't think very highly of myself. Sometimes those thoughts will try and enter, but I am the gatekeeper. You are the gatekeeper, which means that you, as you think, so are you. So you can't blame anybody else for the way you think right now. You can't fault anyone else for the way you feel about yourself right now. Yeah, they may have played their part, but now that you understand that you are a gatekeeper, you are a porter, you are a carrier of the thoughts that come in and out of your life, you have the option to choose to carry those thoughts at this point. Which means that if you want to have a pity party, you're choosing to have a pity party on your own. If you want to feel sorry for yourself, you feel sorry for yourself on your own. If you want to say nobody here understands me, that's your own prerogative to carry those thoughts. But I want to let you know the truth is that just because you feel that nobody else understands you, nobody else wants to help you, nobody else can understand what you possibly go through. I want you to understand that those are your own personal thoughts on that. Nobody else. You can say what you want to, but no matter what your circumstances say, you're continuing to think that nobody else want to help you. You continue to think that nobody else wants to feel sorry for me. Nobody else understands me. All these things happen in my life, and nothing good ever happens in my life. Yes, you're thinking. That's how you want to process it. That's fine. If that's what you want to carry, that's your prerogative. That's your option. But I'm here to tell you, you don't have to think that way. I don't care what your situation say. You don't have to carry that. We've talked about setting your thoughts up, setting your affections, positioning your mindset. We've talked about transitioning your mindset. We've talked about arresting your mindset. Now we're going to talk about building self-confidence in your mind. Proverbs 23:7 says, as a man thinketh, so is he. You are the gatekeeper. You are the gatekeeper. So let's look at some 3 quick points. Like I'm not going to be long tonight. 3 quick points on how you can build your self-confidence in the way you think about yourself. First thing you have to do, you have to shift your thinking. That means you have to start clearing out. I think I talked about that one of the nights this week. You have to start clearing out all of that negativity. If you got a lot of negative people in your life, get those people out your life. Get all of that negative influence that's affecting your life. If you watch a lot of bad stuff in the feed, clear your social media feed of all that negativity right now, because those negative things are contributors to why you feel the way you feel. Seems like nothing good is happening in the world. All those things are contributors to negative thinking. When you have negative thinking around you, then it's hard for you to think positive. You have to start finding other positive things. If you have negative people in your life, I'm sorry, sometimes you may just have to be by yourself. This is a part of the shift because you're trying to get healthier thinking for your life. Remember that your goal this year is to think healthier, to think more optimistic. You got to start listening and feeding your mindset with things that will give you ways out, not give you ways in. Find positive feedback. Find positive correction. Find positive. Toxic mindsets lead to negative thinking. Toxic people lead to negative thinking. Toxic situations lead to negative thinking. You will always feel like nothing good happens if you surround yourself in circumstances that look like they never turn out in your favor. Notice I said it looks like it. Because a lot of times we think that, man, nothing good happens in our lives, but that's not the case. You just, when good things happen, you don't give it the credit that it's due because it doesn't seem like it stays long lit. But you are still a gatekeeper to the positive and the negative that goes on in your mind. You are the gatekeeper. You have to learn how to shift the way you think. Because no matter how many encouraging words you hear, no matter how many awesome messages you hear, no matter how much revelation you hear, no matter how much people say you're doing a good job and how proud you are, if you don't feel good about yourself, none of it exists in your life. You got to make a determination that this is about me. This is a self-building moment. This is a moment where I have to build my self-thinking. You have to finally say, no, I'm going to work towards this. Working towards positive thinking always brings positive results. Even if it's one day at a time, change your thinking. Changing your thinking and how you feel about yourself is so critical, so important that it helps you build your faith because you'll feel like you can do anything once you find more confidence in yourself. But if you don't have confidence in yourself, it's going to be more of an obstacle to step out on faith and trust God for new areas because you found a safety in what you've been accustomed to doing. You found a safety in where you're accustomed to being, whether that's good or bad. You're comfortable in your normal. And when God is always challenging us and calling us to something else, there's always elements to push us more. Okay? So shift your thinking. Get those bad relationships out. Get rid of those people. Get rid of those things. Forsake those things that are evil. Get away from those things that just don't match up to where you're trying to go. If you're trying to go higher, let's find some things that's going to edify your mind. Let's find some things that's going to shift the way you think about your thought life. You've got to start doing that. You've got to start bringing yourself into that place of speaking more highly of yourself. Self-building comes with the mouth. We're going to close that out tomorrow. Self-building with your mouth changes your thought life. It doesn't happen overnight, but it can happen over time. Remember that. If it don't happen overnight, it's going to happen over time. Keep speaking positive. Regardless, if you want to talk negative, remember, find a positive on the other side of that negative. I got a flat tire, but it's a good thing that the flat tire is on the side of the road instead of in the middle of the street. I may have this, but it's a good thing that it didn't happen like this. You know what I'm saying? I may have a cold, but it's a good thing I didn't have pneumonia. Find a more positive outcome to your initial negative thinking. Going on to the next point real fast. Regular self-care. Listen, small things like fixing your hair up, ladies, fellas, trimming your beards, things like that. Going out and buy you a nice little garment, toes, getting your toes done, pedicures, manicures, self things. If you want to start exercising, start exercising. Start exercising. Start exercising. Things like that. All those little things like that are a part of these self-awareness places. You want to be more self-aware. Register self-care places. More self-care places. More self-care places. More self-care places. More self-care places. It's all right to think a little bit about yourself. It's okay to think, all right, I need to take care of myself a little bit. It's all right. It's fine. It's okay to think about that. Last thing, and most least, I always say this, know yourself. Listen, understand your limitations. Understand your maximum strengths. But if you don't understand who you are, you'll never understand what you can become. Understanding who you are as an individual is always a great place to start studying and understanding how you function and operate. Because until you really know yourself, you'll never ever know what you can become. Until you know yourself, you'll never ever know what you can truly become. Say it one more time. Until you know yourself, you'll never ever know what you can truly become in life. You are the gatekeeper, sir, ma'am. As a man thinketh, so is he. As a man thinketh, so is he. As a man thinketh, so is he. You'll never ever know who you are till you understand what you are. You'll never ever become who you think you can be until you understand who you are now. This is day 4. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to come back with it. We're going to deal with a little bit more to close this mind chapter out, y'all. Be blessed on tonight. Take care.